2003 Pontiac Grand Prix. The lady purchased it off Craigslist for $500 as not running. Owner said the motor would not start. She brought it over to the shop and said, "Hey, can you get this thing running? I only have $500 in it." I ended up replacing the coil packs, which is one big unit, and it fired right up. As soon as it fired up, this hose right here was completely blown. It was cut in half. It was just dry rotted, and oil started shooting out. So I replaced the hose, and she's been driving it now. Probably 40,000 miles she has on it since she bought it. Has 290,000 miles on it now, and she wants me to replace the timing chain, which is going to be over. All this has to come out. So today I'm going to show everyone how to replace the timing chain on a 2.2 liter motor. The first thing you got to do is remove the coil packs out of the valve cover, and then remove the valve cover itself. Now that you got your valve cover off, you gotta take off the tire. You gotta take out the inner fender well to get to the bottom side. The timing chain cover has been leaking for a while, so I guess this is a good sign that we're going to go ahead and replace it all now. The next thing we're going to do is take off the tensioner belt. Next thing we're going to do is take off the serpentine belt, and in doing so we're going to have to take out or move the coolant fill, take out the upper motor mount to get to the tensioner. Alright, next thing you got to do is take off your serpentine belt. And here's your alternator. Right next to that, you can kind of barely see it, but that is your tensioner. And you have to get in the back of it with a 3/8 drive and pull up on it to release the tension to pull the belt off. So to take the timing chain cover off, you're going to have 10 or 11 10 millimeters. You can see one way over here. So there's one over here, and all the way around. And it should be one dead middle, which is either going to be a 10, maybe a 13, and that holds the center on. So you got to make sure all 10 of them are out. Once you get all your little 10 millimeters out, you can see they're just kind of all over the place as they go up. Next thing you do, you take your little 21 millimeter and pull your dampener off. All right, everything is out. Don't forget to take out that 13 millimeter, because that's the center hole one, and it will not come off if you do not. Oh, looks like I forgot one there. And that will not come off until that one's out, and you will break your timing cover if you try and pry. So this is the 13 millimeter that was in that hole right there. When I tried to pull it out, this hose was in the way, so I just put a crowbar right here and pulled the motor up about an inch, and it slid right out. So from here, I'm just going to take a pry bar and pry right here. So be careful when you pop. Oil will. To get the timing chain cover off, you have to take off this, which sits here, which holds the top motor mount on, because the gasket sits behind this for no reason. So very asinine. I don't like it, but you have to take it off. 18 millimeter times 3, it's off. So I'm a little weird. I don't actually order the parts I need until after I have everything apart. And the reason why I don't do it, or the reason why I do it like that, is that way I know exactly what I need, and I'm not buying a bunch of stuff that I really don't need. So here is the timing chain with the S. It's going to be with the sprocket ends. This is going to be your balancing chain, top motor mount. Of course, it was bad. Water pump, and then the timing chain cover gasket, which includes your front main seal. So now we start working on getting the chain out, or the chain lined up. Now we start working on getting the timing chain lined up and ready for disassembly. All right, intake to the front at 2 o'clock. Exhaust to the back at 10 o'clock. And the key, don't know if you can see that, the key pointing straight up. That is what you need before you take off your timing chain. To get your timing chain tensioners and components off, this has to come off. It's a number 10, and it's really, really tight. It took a lot of manpower to get that one broken. You also got to take this one back here, on the back of the head, out. You can't even get a good picture of it. Anyways, there's a big one back here that has to come out. This had to come out, and then from the bottom, you can take and get all of your tensioners and crap off, and that will give us to the layer for the balancing chain. That's going to be up next. The big one in the back is a 1 1/4 inch. It slides right out. I would say we caught this just in the nick of time before it actually absolutely disintegrated. Very well worn. It broke early in its life. Of course, this is 290,000 on the original timing chain. As you can see right here, boom, the chain was rubbing into the bolt. So I would say very close call, but good save. If you're also replacing your water pump, I found it easier to take off and put on the bottom water pump bolt through the bottom. You can see that little tiny bolt behind the rust at the top. That is your water pump bolt on the bottom. There's two going into the housing. And once you take them two off, that whole pipe comes out to replace your water pump. I do gotta say, with these, 12 o'clock for your intake is gold. 6 o'clock for exhaust, it's black and wraps around, and the bottom of your crank is black. It all lines up. So make sure you don't put the gold here. Gold goes on your intake, which is there. Alright, I got the water pump in. It took a lot longer than I expected. I got the new balancing chain in. So basically, it's all 10 millimeters all the way around, except for them. They're 15 and 15 over here. That's your intake, that's your exhaust. Once you're done, pull your pin, and that is ready to rock and roll. Now remember, when you're doing your timing, intake, yellow, exhaust, black, and when you line up the bottom, you see right here, the little dot, and then on this one, the dot here lines up with that one. After you make sure everything lines up, you can put in your plastics, your rail slides. You can cover it back up with your 10 millimeter. Don't forget to put in your tensioner. And to release your tensioner, you stick a screwdriver right in here and you just push down. We used a crowbar. Just push down 1/4 inch, just like that, and it releases it. And then check the slack, make sure you don't have a lot of slack. Everything should be good. Once you're ready to put your timing cover back on, I found it easier to put the gasket on to the dial pins. You have 2 dial pins, one on each side, so one's here, and one's over here. And then put the motor mount, top motor mount bracket back on, which goes through your gasket. When you're putting your timing chain cover back on, don't forget to put in that 13 right here, which goes all the way through the cover and into your water pump. And also, don't forget to put on your tensioner up here before you put on your top motor mount, or else you won't be able to get it on. You have to take your top motor mount back off. Once you got your timing chain cover back on, all your bolts back in, it's time to put on your front motor mount. If you replaced your water pump, you gotta put your shield back on, put your valve cover back on, realign the wires, and put your overflow tank back in, intake back on, and that's it. You're buttoned up. This job, the parts alone was $500, and labor normally would cost somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000. She's a friend of mine. I'm only charging her $300.